Hello, hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you may be. You may be listening to this in the morning or afternoon or evening. It is the Musings and Music Show. So this is EGBE MBIWAN MONJIMBO coming to you on VOSA World Radio. If you're listening, then you can tell that I have a full panel with me here, a distinguished panel of two ladies and two gentlemen. For the time being, we're waiting on one more. And they're coming to us all the way from Buea. The gods of technology have been with us so far, so good. So I'm going to go ahead and have them introduce themselves to the listeners and eventually the viewers. So we'll start from the top right there and have the lady at the top, the boss of everybody, go ahead and start and introduce herself.
I'm Dr. Francisca HONGLA Biaka, the CEO of St. Veronica Medical Center, which comprises the St. Veronica Polyclinic, which is the hospital, and the Biaka University Institute of Buea, which is the training arm of it.
Nice to have you on the show. Welcome. Then,
thank you.
I think we should go to the next lady, because they say ladies before gentlemen. We'll go to the next lady on the panel. Who are you, dear? Who are you?
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I am called Susan TARH, a nurse educator and a senior nurse for 17 years and a nurse lecturer in the same university we are talking about, the Buib, for 10 years now.
Oh, wow.
And administrative positions, I am under the Office of Cooperation, Innovation and Partnership. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. And then I guess from my screen here, I'll start with the person at the top. I think that's Dr. TAKANG. Please go ahead.
Morning to everyone. Dr. TAKANG, medical doctor, trained in Italy, in active practice for 13 years. I'm a medical doctor at St. Veronica Polyclinic and the unit manager of the Biaka Health Medical Services.
Okay. And then, sorry about that, we have Prof. Please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be on board. I'm Professor FONKENG, Deputy Vice Chancellor for Biaka University Institute of Buea, in charge of academics and research. Thank you.
Nice to have this distinguished panel. I'm very honored. VOSA World Radio is very honored to have this panel with us here. So I'm going to go ahead and begin from the beginning, the genesis of it all. Because the name Biaka isn't strange to me. I went to school in neighboring Limbe there. And at the time, what we knew as Biaka was a clinic. And so I'm going to go ahead and ask, who is the institution named after? That's a name I know, but who is it named after specifically?
Okay, Dr. Lawrence Francis Biaka of blessed memory is a gynecologist obstetrician. He had his surgery, which he decided that, first of all, he was working with the government, and then he left the government and he went private. So he had his surgery. And he wanted to train some nurses for his own consumption. And so he saw that there was a need, nationwide, not just only for him. And so the training institution was born, and it was called at that time St. Francis School of Nursing and Midwifery.
I see.
And that St. Francis School of Nursing and Midwifery was created in 1998. We started with 6 nurses. Training 6 nurses. And it was under the Ministry of Employment and Vocational Training, because at that time, public health had not started, giving authorizations to private institutions. Then went on to obtain, when public health opened up, obtained authorization to train assistant nurses and also state registered nurses. The ones that we started with vocational training were enrolled nurses for 2 years. Then we moved on to higher education. When higher education started with HND in nursing, where you come in with A levels.
Okay.
But you know, yes, the assistant nurses were going in with O levels, even the enrolled when we started. But later on, enrolled, we started taking advanced level. So we started training. These 3 schools existed, and they were all authorized or managed by 3 different ministries.
Okay.
You have the Ministry of Higher Education, Ministry of Public Health, and the Ministry of Employment and Vocational Training. And it has continued up till now. We still have all these branches and these ministries overseeing the training of this profession.
So it's very clear that it's legit. It's a legit,
Yes.
it's not a little,
Yes.
something which is very much approved and authorized.
So when Dr. Biaka died in 2014, to carry on with the legacy of Biaka, when you say St. Francis, some people thought, a lot of people thought that it was a missionary school or something to do with the Catholic, but it had nothing to do, yes, it was purely private. So I made an application to the Minister of Higher Education that I wanted to change the name first, and also an upgrade, because according to the text, you must have been in the field for a number of years, and your performance must have been very, very good, which we met those criteria, and we applied, and the minister now granted us our request, which now we were named now the Biaka University Institute of Buea.
All right.
So that was by the Minister of Higher Education. So that appellation now, we now inform the other 2 ministries that this is our new name. This is what we want to be called.
Okay.
But the different programs stay.
Okay, so just the name change, not that the actual.
Yes.
Okay.
Name change, and also it's like they have graded you. I mean, they've promoted you from higher institute to university institute.
Right. Because
Yes.
I just woke up one fine day and realized that was the name of the thing. I'm like, wow, this has grown by leaps and bounds. And before we continue, just a tiny second, because we've mentioned Dr. Biaka, and I wanted to say I do have a pictures. I had when he passed on in 2014, I had run a blog called Sika Pride, and I know I had featured that obituary there. So I wanted to, there he is. Am I sharing my screen?
Yes.
There he is. God rest his dear soul. And there he is. That's another picture of him from back then. So it's good that we do him that honor. So they see the face behind the origins of the institution. So I'll stop that share for now. Or maybe while we are on here, since she's mentioned it and we're here about that, maybe at least show a picture of the campus right there. That's a huge campus right there. What part of it is this, by the way? What part of the campus is this?
This is just the entrance and the field, part of the field.
Yeah.
Where we call it our own natural
ceremonial ground.
Ceremonial grounds, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I see the people seated there under these canopies. Maybe a graduation was happening or something.
Yes, there was a graduation ceremony going on.
Okay,
Yes.
I see. I see. That's quite some history right there. So we've talked about the beginnings. So what was and you've even covered pretty much the mission, because he himself already had that mission and vision before he passed on, and what you've done is to continue the legacy.
Exactly.
Yes. And so what about the structure now? Because now you see how some of us back in my day, I was in Sika there in the late 70s till 1981. We knew only about the clinic. That's where all the ladies who could have any issues, he was the magician that would make everything all right for you. You say, I'm going to see Dr. Biaka, your problems are solved. That's what we do, a clinic. But now I've heard you mention a ton of things. So there's clearly an academic side and there's clearly a medical side that caters to the public, where you could have an ailment and go to see go to hospital there. So how does that work?
Okay, for it to work, we put in place a board of trustees for St. Veronica Medical Center. That's how we call it. That place is St. Veronica Medical Center, which has the hospital, the clinic, and it has the University Institute. So a board of trustees is a management board that oversees the functioning of that. And in the hospital, there is we have the medical director, the chief medical officer, the medical director, and also a hospital manager, which is the hospital administrator.
Okay, so it is not. Okay, sorry, go on.
Yes, and in the hospital they have all these units. So as Dr. Takang will come on board later, it's one of the units is the home care, which he heads, and so there are other units. Then in the university side, we have the vice chancellor, which I also double as vice chancellor. We have the deputy vice chancellor in charge of academics and research, which is Professor FONKENG, sitting here. We also have the deputy vice chancellor in charge of administration and finance. We have the deputy vice chancellor in charge of cooperation and innovation, and then we have the registrar. So these are the 5 main people in the university.
Very well, a perfect setup, like every higher institution of learning should be, so that which is accredited, because people will not want to go to some place which is where you come out with a degree and it's not being recognized. When it's well structured like this, then definitely you can tell that it has clout, it carries some clout. So I don't know whether let's start with the medical side, because that is kind of how it seems to have begun. Let's start with the medical side. So it looks like it's not just obstetrics and gynecology anymore. Somebody can just have an input and show up for treatment, right, Dr. Takang? I think he froze. He froze right this minute, I think, and we lost him this minute. So maybe we should go then and start with the academic side, since Professor FONKENG is still very much here. So how does that work? You just walk us through. If somebody applied, I'm sitting here, people who are listening to us are out here in the diaspora. They have a choice of all kinds of universities out there. If they wanted to enroll somebody in the university, what is it that they're going to be enrolling? What do you offer as subjects? What can somebody go read in BUIB?
Thank you very much. I'm happy the Vice Chancellor has already set the stage and telling us that our university institute is accredited, meaning that it is recognized by the Ministry of Higher Education, alongside other ministries which assist us in the training that we carry out, particularly in the area of professionalism and in the area of medical and medical sciences. Actually, if somebody comes to Cameroon and you wish to enroll in a private university, I think the Biaka University Institute is the right place. We have at the moment 5 schools that we run. And the 5 schools are the School of Health Sciences, the School of Management Sciences, and the School of Education, and the School of Agricultural Sciences, and the School of Engineering and Technology.
Wow.
Actually, we are already well grounded in the first 3 schools, the School of Health Sciences, and the School of Management Sciences, and the School of Education, because these are the schools that have been functioning since we were raised to the level of a university. Of recent, we have moved on since 2022 to 2023 academic year. We have moved on with 2 new schools, that is the School of Agricultural Sciences and the School of Engineering and Technology. In these various schools, you are capable of graduating with an HND, which is a higher national diploma. Like the Vice Chancellor said, you can come in with your A levels and you register and you graduate after 2 years with an HND, the higher national diploma. We also can be able to go really academic, and we offer degree courses. We have BSc, which you can come in with your A levels, and you can either read something in nursing, you can either read something in management sciences, you can read something in education, or today we can have agriculture and also engineering and technology. And we also have somebody who has already, for example, you have an HND, you can be able to register, enroll in the university, and be able after 1 year to graduate with a BSc. Same thing, we have MSc, which also has the top of MSc, and we have MBA and also Masters of Education. All of these are the various degrees that are offered by the university. Most importantly, our university is mentored by the University of Buea, which means that every private higher institution is supposed to be mentored by a state university. And we in the Biaka University are mentored by the renowned and very, very popular University of Buea. And we have been under this mentorship since the beginning of our institute being raised to the level of a university. Thank you.
That is wonderful to hear. I've learned a lot here. I didn't realize that there was that diverse. And the agriculture part really gets to me, really makes me happy to hear that. Because I like to hear about people who are doing things that are relevant for the community that you are serving. Because they used to say, even minus the programs that people have that they read in other universities, and even the scholarships we used to have, you're sending somebody to go and do aeronautics. I mean, what planes are they going to fly? You know, when I was sitting there in the place that has the rich, fertile soil, we can actually make good, because we used to think about, you should only go to school, go to what they call a grammar school, come out, be a doctor, lawyer, so and so thing. Whereas there's the land that you can farm. So I'm really, really glad to hear that somebody is really thinking clean and clear about what the community needs, because you should come there and meet a need, not just come and do something for fancy, which nobody can use thereafter. So congratulations on the job well done. What are the numbers like? Enrollment at the
moment, we have total enrollment. We are more than 3,000 students.
Wow.
And we have our flagship program, which is the School of Health Sciences, which has almost 2,000 and more students. And we have the School of Management Sciences that has also about 200 students, and the School of Education about 50 students, and the School of Agricultural Sciences that has about 20 students, as well as the School of Engineering and Technology, about 20 students. So we are talking about a total of 3,000 students. And I can assure you the demand is very high, particularly with the 2 new programs that we just launched on this academic year. It's just that we did not carry out a lot of advertisement and publicity, but when we were ending up admissions, we still had a number of people who wanted to register, but for some reasons we decided to stop admission, and so we are expecting the school to grow tremendously next academic year.
Yes, and now they've heard. You see, because sometimes we out here, we keep thinking, okay, the person needs to come on out here, pay for them to come on out here to come and get an education here. Whereas now, when people know that these courses are offered right there, no need to start bringing somebody out here, just sponsor them there in the country. For example, why would you be coming to read agriculture out here? The soil you're going to work on is there in Cameroon. The things that it's not here, you're going to get any knowledge that you need better than what you will get right there, C+, as they say, right there on the ground. So congratulations for a job really, really well done. And I know you're going to continue to grow more and more as the years go by, as people are aware. And I'm guessing that you have The next thing that people are going to want to know about a school is how the success rate when they come on out and they go into the workplace. So, because that's what really makes a school worth its salt if it's graduates.
That's right.
Yes.
You're very right. One of our strong points is that we do professional training. And professional training means that the students are able to have hands-on skills that they can graduate and be able to go straight into the job market. And during the period of training, we also liaise with a number of companies around the Buea municipality and beyond, right up all over the country. The students have the possibility of internship in various institutes. So we make sure that our students are able to gain employment immediately after graduation. I can tell you that has been proven in the medical field and in the management sciences field. And the other fields that are just coming up, we think that it's going to be the same. We are saying in agriculture particularly, our farms are really very, very attractive. We have been, we have had the Ministry of Higher Education and the University of Buea visiting our agricultural fields, and the impressions are very, very, very good. And we think that we are ready to do more, particularly when it comes to giving Cameroonians the skills that they can be able to move straight into the job market. Thank you.
That's wonderful. So, and that's the thing, the agriculture part, even as they're doing the training, I guess what they are actually harvesting from those farms is actually helping to feed the people. So it's a win-win situation in every way. It's not like the theory. When something is theory, well, you learn how to go teach. Till you go out there and actually teach, then that's when we really see the results. But I'm guessing with the farm right there, whatever it is that you're growing is being harvested, sold, or offered, and people are actually benefiting directly and concretely from it. That really makes me happy to hear that. Thank you so much for your service there. And I'm going to come up now to Ms. Tar so she can talk about her own branch of things. The nursing part, I think, is what you said. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you once more for the opportunity. I think I'll talk about things Dr. Takang is not there, and we worked together to come up with this home care service as part of a unit in the hospital now. Yeah, I think the CEO, when she started telling us the evolution about the complex, she did mention that the hospital was called St. Francis, and everybody knew, like you said, before you came to understand that the name has changed now to Biaka. And now the particular name or the name for the hospital is called St. Veronica Polyclinic, which if you call that, people will not be able to identify that it is Biaka. But when you say that Biaka Hospital, everybody, because it's a branded name, it's a home name. So everybody understands that name. So when you talk about the polyclinic has evolved from that time that it started in 1987. So it has evolved where we have all arms in the hospital now, in the polyclinic. We now talk about general medicine, where we have the head who is running all the affairs of that polyclinic, of the hospital. We have services like obstetrics and gynecology, which is still very there because we have doctors, because that is the niche of that polyclinic. So we cannot kill that, because that is where people understood that Biaka exists.
That is what I know. That is the thing I knew.
We still have that. So yes. Dr. Biaka is gone, but that arm of that particular, yes, is still there. Then for what new things we have added, we now have the ophthalmologists. So you don't even need to go in other clinics to see that they take care of it. We have a dentistry there too. We also have, of course, physiotherapists that come once in a while. We have a neurologist, that also comes and then consult. And then we have partners where in all the other hospitals around us, we make sure that specialists come into this hospital and see that our neighborhood or our community is well taken care of. So it has been a great help to the community because other services, these services, and they work 24/7. We have well-trained doctors, of course. We do not just have 1, 2, 3 doctors, but we have specialized doctors who visit and then give to the patient what they need. The services are services, of course, you know, the late doctor was that kind of person who, when he talks to you, your illnesses will automatically, I mean, you don't need to take any medication. And so we are trying to keep to those.
Keep the human touch going.
The human touch going, thank you. And because of the need of the community, we had to sit down sometimes in the month of June and said, well, we cannot be sitting in the hospital while waiting for people to come and meet us. Why can't we not go out there and meet them? So with the CEO of the hospital, she has to now bring up some team to see how we can be able to come up with these other units. Apart from the regular unit that we have there, these other units of the hospital or the other arm of the hospital, which we gave the bed name as the Biaka Home Care Medical Service. So we took up this opportunity, or we took up this project with a team of persons still there in the hospital, together with the manager of that hospital. And we used 3 months to come up with a project plan of this new arm of the hospital, of the polyclinic. And from what we were able to get from the fee, there was a dying need for people to have services in their homes, at the comfort of their homes.
Right.
And when we actually came up with these findings, we said, okay, fine. Biaka has been giving good services to people. Why can we not go to the comfort of their home and give them these services at affordable prices? Because one thing you should know here was the founder has never been a money-making mind person. He has always been that person who promotes charity and who promotes humanitarian, and so too the CEO. So we look at it and we say, yes, we can also reach out to these people. So we're able now to come up with this project. In this project, we have now a package. And this package, we were to offer services like physiotherapists, doctors will be visiting patients at their homes, nutritionists, because in the school, like Prof just narrated, we don't need to go bring specialists from outside. We train them. Why can we not use them to help the community? We have department where we train nutritionists. We have department where we train medical health personnel. We have a department where we train general nursing. Why can we not use them and see how we can reach out to these people? So we decided to offer these services, the physiotherapists, doctors going to visit these
patients in their homes. If you give me a tiny second, just a tiny second right there, I see that Dr. Biaka herself, I see your hand raised. Were you going to say something? Just a second.
Yes. I wanted to let Madam TARH know that Dr. Takang is back for the home care thing, and I wanted Madam TARH to let us know the success rate of her nurses that she trains and employment in hospitals and healthcare. I wanted her to tell us
those. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. But even though, just to let you know, Madam TARH, I am liking that particular home care part, because you know what has happened to us here who live in the diaspora? Our parents are back there. You can't bring them out here. They are too tired or too sick to travel. And then we are glad to know that there's a service that can actually come meet them in their homes, because sometimes that is the problem, to get them to go out there to the hospital and that kind of a thing. We would be glad here to be able to arrange for that kind of thing to happen, where help comes to them at their homes. It will give a lot of people out here peace of mind. I'm glad that you're bringing up that part, because the people who will be listening out here are the ones who are going to say, fantastic. My mother is sitting there. I don't know what her blood pressure is today. I do not know what's going on with her. You have the little girl that you pay who comes and sits with her. That little girl just does washing off the clothes and helps her around, cooks in the kitchen, but does not know how to look after the health. And we keep hearing nightmare stories about so-and-so just collapsed. Well, we didn't know what was going on. or those kinds of things. So I'm really, really glad about this whole home care arm of the whole thing, because not everybody can actually go to the hospital. And even if sometimes they don't know to go to the hospital for just checks, we tend to be the kind of people who, if something is not wrong, you're not feeling bad about something, you don't go, you just sit, and then the collapsing happens. Because something has been going on wrong. Whereas if you had routine checks, like the ones I'm talking about, where the person comes to the home and just checks and monitors everything, that would be avoided. So I'm glad to hear about that. But please go on, and then we'll pass it on to Dr. Takang after you, because now he's back.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yes. Going back to the nurses, I will say that we have a wide exposure when it comes to our nurses, because I will tell you that when you go, 75% of our local hospitals or clinical setting are occupied by our nurses.
Awesome.
And if they have to ask, who are these people? I will say in just a simple term that we train students who are professionals, who have who keep to the ethics of the profession. And in areas out of the country, you will say that I was talking with some past students, some ex-students, and she was able to analyze to me, who is in US now. She was able to analyze to me that most of times when these Biaka students go out of the country, they becomes the best of all the other training schools, because they have seen that when it comes to hands-on training, the Biaka students are just offering the best to the different hospitals which recruits them. Because of that, people now has taken interest in them. And what again is amongst them is that they always try, because normally when it comes to documentation, I want to congratulate Biaka for that. Because when the students go out there, when it comes to credentials, evaluation, the students normally do not have any issues with that, because the school takes the pains to see how it will be able to help that student to have the certificate evaluated and to pick up job, international job everywhere, wherever they go. If you go to Dubai, they are there. If you go to just Nigeria here, they are there, because we have students who live in Nigeria, come study with us here, and go back and excel perfectly well. And with that, you see that other students, because of their performance, it now gives opportunity for other students to say, but where is that Biaka? I think I want to go there because they have a good training. And I will tell you that I don't even want to go too far. I am a product of that same university today, which is Biaka, and I'm proud to be. And I am giving back.
I can tell from the enthusiasm with which you are doing this that you are born and raised and bred in the thing yourself. I think I had a picture. Let me, we can pause a little bit. I'm trying to go find that album back and try to see. These are some of the facilities that you're talking about, because there's a particular picture I remember seeing. Let me go out of here first. And I saw, like here, I'm seeing people in, I see this, is this a nurse right here, drawing blood?
Yes. Yes.
That's
the laboratory.
In the lab, that is, I was impressed with what I see back there. You see,
yes, you want to understand that in the whole of Cameroon, we are the only university with a teaching lab, practical lab, as known as a simulation lab, well equipped. And it can only be compared to that of Drexel University in USA, because we were able to send out a lecturer, may he so rest in peace, who when they was trained, came back and trained other young staff who were able to pick up to train our staff, our students, sorry. And you understand that what we normally do is our first year students have these hands-on training in that simulation lab, so that we are able to evaluate them, follow them step after step before we are able now to send them down to the field. Before they go to the field, they have gotten all what it takes for them to go to the field, working on real patients. And with that, you normally know that when you have gotten the competencies on the simulated patients, by the time you are going to work on real patients, you are focused. You are, you know that the mistake you could not do on simulated patients, you will not want to do it on a real patient. So we do not just train them theoretically, we train them in and out. That is what we say, that you train a holistic individual. That is what Biaka knows how to do. We train them holistically where they follow professionalism and put the ethics in place and nothing but that. So that when a student goes out, we are not talking about papers, but we are talking about a student who is living with skills and profit and is able to back up that profession. And they will tell you, the students will tell you that Biaka is not for the weak. Biaka is for the strong. And before you leave there, you know that you have been transformed. The weak ones are transformed to become the better ones and the stronger ones. And why would they not be able to fight when it comes to be at the top always? So that is just us. And that we do what we know how to do best everywhere we go.
That's fantastic. Because you see,
and we follow our motto. No, not the motto, our slogan. We follow our slogan.
Which is
Mrs. Star, please tell her what your slogan is.
The audacity to be different. Thank you, Doctor.
There you go. to stand out from the fray, and be different. Because you see, hopefully it has changed by now, but people used to have this impression of nurses. Okay, back in the day, in ancient day, when they still wore nurses' hats and things, they were proper and everything. Then the time came when the average nurse you saw in the hospital, they had the reputation of sitting down there, they're doing their knitting. You are there in labor, screaming your head off. The lady's doing her knitting, selling her puff that she brought to do. That's the kind of thing, the impression that some people have. So when you hear about hands-on, people actually doing the training, they're well trained. It gives us peace of mind. It comforts us to know that we have people, if you send somebody to your facility, they really are in good hands. Not the kind of one where you're sitting down there, you've been dissecting a rat all day, and then now you have a real person in front of you, and what do you do? So I think we can...
And you want to understand that the most important thing for a health profession is research. And with that, we don't joke on it. We make sure, because if you get when Prof was giving his introduction, he said he's in charge of research. And when it comes to research, our students work with evidence base. And that is why we are able to stand out uniquely. And we don't mix our words when we say that we have the audacity to be different. When it comes to research, our students practically, when it comes to practicals, they work with evidence. They know why they are doing particular procedure at a particular time, because they can back it with evidence and scientifically it is proven, because they will tell you, because in our diploma program, we start from that level. Start training them how to get evidence in the procedures that you have to take in managing your patients.
That's excellent.
We give in.
All right. Now we see we have Dr. Takang is back. He has been having a few technical issues, but while we have him now, we'll say let's go for it so that before you disappear again, maybe let us hear from you. She's done her best to cover the medical field, but she's done mostly the nursing part. So what would you have to add to that so we can have a better picture?
Thank you very much. Sorry for the technical issues.
No problem.
Okay, this, as she has rightly said, Biaka Home Medical and Healthcare Service Delivery is there. First is to guarantee that patients are seen from the comfort of their homes. Because from my experience, many times when you see patients, one of the challenges they have is that I don't want to be admitted. So many times it's a fight between seeing them there and seeing the critical condition. Then they tell you, I don't want to be admitted. I don't want my child to stay in the hospital. I don't like hospitals. So I think this idea was a fantastic idea from Dr. Francis Biaka to see patients from the comfort of their homes, because we think that medicine is not only the medical part of it, but it has a lot of psychological issues to do. And we think that if patients are treated from the comfort of their homes, the healing time is very short, and they prefer that. So this is a fantastic idea, because from experience, I can tell you that the success rate is very high, above 90%, because I've seen many patients, example, stroke patients that were visited at home, which their families thought that they were completely down, but I can tell you that in a space of a week, they completely recovered, some regained their working abilities. Yes, we have seen patients from above 80, some even from abroad. So we think that is a wonderful idea, because many times
it is without a doubt.
to transport patients abroad is not only very costly, at times too, it is not easy.
Sometimes it's not even possible. Sometimes
Yes.
it's actually concretely not possible to take that person and get them, even fly them up. There's first of all the financial liability. How many people have helicopters and things to private jets to fly anybody out anywhere? Sometimes it's a matter of time. There is no time in which to do that. Start evacuating them. They need the help urgently right there where they are, even if they have the means and they're the richest person possible ever. Time is of the essence. So,
yes.
so that's definitely one of the things, definitely. Mm-hmm.
And I think that this is the first of its kind in the hospital that we do in home care services. And I want to tell you that our patients are not only geriatric patients. We have youths, especially youths, are demanding for it because the services we offer are not only specialized services. We have even nursing services that they just go to administer treatment at home, like injections, oral medications, maybe to instruct the patient on how to take their medications. Sometimes they forget, so we remind them. And not only that, we have homemates who help in tidying the house, prepare food,
really?
do shopping for groceries. Yes, hygiene and sanitation. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
I'm looking at it, I'm hearing it and listening to it from the point of view of my people out here, because that is the thing.
Yes.
In my specific case, we were lucky. We have a sister that's still in Cameroon and was supervising and having all of those things done. But what keeps many people awake at night here is that who's going to look after my mother? You see, the idea used to be before you come over to come and study. When you're done studying, you go back to Cameroon and settle. Now, very often, the majorities stay on here and work here, but their parents and aunties and people are still back there in Cameroon. And the worry, what keeps them awake is, well, I have money, but money is not going to actually feed your mother. Money itself, like the actual cash, is not going to take care of make sure they're living comfortably. So that is really important. I did not know it's not just the medical part, it's actually, it's home care as a whole.
Okay, let me just give you a practical example of how my family itself benefited from it.
Okay.
My mother.
Oh no, I think he froze again. Are you back with us?
Yes, I'm back with you.
I can hear you. We can hear you now. Go on, please.
She was placed on a crutch, and my siblings said that because of maybe winter, she could not walk because of the cold, extreme cold. So she had to come over for some time, for a period of 6 months. And actually, they were saying that, you know, because of that, they were very skeptical how she was going to recover. So she was here last December, but I want to bet you that before leaving, she dropped that crutch.
Wow.
And I saw a picture of her celebrating her birthday dancing without that crutch.
Wow.
Because, yes, every day I would check her pressure, encourage her to walk, brought a physiotherapist at home from the center who did massage. And I'll bet you that all the pains she used to complain about before she left, she was feeling, and she thanked me so much. So these are things that I think that many friends can call back home. If you have your patient who is at home, don't bother, who is going to take care. This service is there to grant you that innovative touch that I think that, and the other thing is that it is it's cost effective because we offer services at the comfort of their homes at zero prices, affordable prices that I think that if you have to compare treating the patient back the US, you're going to benefit a lot.
Right. And the way it works, I'll tell you honestly, they come on out here, we bring our mummies out here, but then look at, you know how it works out here, because you all have studied out abroad. When the daytime comes, all of us have gone to our offices and things, and mommy is at home alone, trying to watch whatever TV she's watching. They're bored to tears. She's missing her CWA meetings, her CWF meetings, her little jangi, anything, and very miserable here. When the winter comes, it's like, I beg, I want to go back. Then she will hear that one of our friends has died. Cry, 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 cry. I want to go to the field. You see, so they would really rather be home in Cameroon.
Yes.
Their preference is to go in Cameroon. But their students said, come on out here because this is where the treatment is, where I can look after you well over here. So if they really could have the services back there, I know a lot of them would volunteer to stay home, stay in Cameroon, stay home in your familiar environment.
And then just like, yes, just like the COH, we have a lot of strength for this project because one, there is an available hospital which is accessible and secured.
Mm-hmm.
You know, despite the social political crisis, but the hospital cannot come because it's secured. well fenced, and I bet you that it has one of the best compounds I've ever seen. When you just walk into St. Veronica Polyclinic, you already feel treated because that atmosphere is very conducive for treatment.
It's serene and peaceful, and the kind of one that lends itself.
Very peaceful.
Yes. As opposed to the ones that we are used to. General Hospital is right there by the road. Pim, 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 pim. The people are passing. Noise. I'm like, what kind of a place? In Victoria there. It's right there on the street.
A lot of trees, natural vegetation,
yep.
That breeze, that natural touch has a lot to treat. I do surgeries, and I bet you when I open my patients, the recovery time is speedy. At times, patients go home 4 days, 5 days, they're back home. Right. Why? Because we encourage them to ambulate, the time they sit out to take breeze, and believe me, they heal very fast and go home.
Correct. And they're sitting out there to take breeze and better be good breeze, because if they're going to sit out there and it's like dust that they're going to be inhaling, then there's no point. So that is part of it. A lot of healing, as you said before, is psychological. There's the medical part, then the actual science to it, then there is somebody's mindset and somebody's peace of mind that definitely contributes to that. So I hear this is this has been all good. What are the challenges? Because there must be some. What are the challenges any of you faces as you do your work?
One of the challenges is this social political crisis. At times, we have disturbances for patients to reach us. Right. Yes, and I think that this can, since I learned that our CEO is a secretary, I have a sister who's a secretary. I think that one of the things we can solicit is for a specialized, full-fledged ambulance that can help us to transport these patients from their home to the complex in cases of emergencies.
Yes, well, hopefully, if you see, a vehicle that is for health, I'm not thinking anybody will want to attack that. Hopefully, yes. Fingers crossed. You know that is not just any kind of thing happening. Somebody is it's a life-threatening issue, and they are being taken to the hospital for treatment. Any challenges on your end for the nurses?
Yes, sometimes normally this project is based on the alumni because it's a very rich one. Yes, at times some specialists that come, because we count on the specialists that come, that are visiting specialists. Sometimes some of these specialists, because of maybe a high demand from other places like Douala, they're not always available. Yes, so those are some of the challenges we face.
So we should hear that, because sometimes there are people out here who say who do things like that. They want to kind of give back, and they're looking for somewhere to go and do exactly that. So I hope they're listening or watching. They can know that they can consider contacting BUIB to figure out what it is that they can actually help. Some of them do that pro bono. That's what they do. They come and they want to just give back and come and offer their services. And for Dr. Fonkeng, any challenges at your end? Any challenges you face there in the
Recording in progress. Thank you very much. We have some challenges in the area of academics. The first challenge is that of finances. Our institution is a private institution, and we don't have at the moment any subvention from the government. So we need so much money for the expansion of the university that we envisage. And we also have another problem of partnership, partnering with other institutions out of the country. We are working with some universities in Britain and some of them in the United States, but we would like more partnership so that we can be able to have exchange programs for our staff and students, so that they can be able to have some experiences of what takes place in other parts of the world. And we also have a problem of staffing. We have a serious problem of getting good lecturers. We work for the best, and we are at the moment using the best lecturers from state universities. The Biaka University should want to recruit its own lecturers of standard, of good quality. And if we see that the state as such, or state universities as such, are not able to get enough staff for themselves, we too, we are facing the same problem, because we want to have our own permanent staff who are dedicated to the training that we want to offer. Thank you.
So thank you for that. And that, the whole purpose of this was for people to hear it, know what the needs are, and people are listening. If you're somebody that can actually meet these needs, show of hands, show up and do. There were other people who are here too. We would rather be home, trust me. Nothing like winter to remind you that you really would be better off in your own place, which is nice and warm. And so there's some people who are thinking about moving. And then the thing is, if I move over there, what would I do? How would I find employment? These are opportunities where you can go and actually help, be of help. After helping, look, it's good that you help anybody anywhere. Human beings are human beings. But they say charity begins at home. If you can go and be of use in your own country of origin, that is definitely a plus. So there's this big thing of it's year 25. I hear. I cannot believe it's 25 years. I hear this is your silver anniversary year coming up. This 2023. So what are the plans for it? I know you're not about to let it just go by like that without any notice. So what are there any plans for it to celebrate the 25 years? Okay, I see Dr. Biaka, I think we lost her for a minute. Are you going to speak to that? Who's going to speak?
No, I am here because.
Go right ahead.
No, because.
You're coming in and out and breaking up.
The battery was running down, so I now went to the iPhone.
Oh, okay.
No.
We can hear you now. So were you going to speak to that about the silver anniversary thing or not? No, you're breaking up and freezing.
I didn't get that.
Yes, you're breaking up, number one, and then now, right now, you're okay. That looks like you're back on track. Can you hear us? No, she's actually frozen right now. It's a pity the other device died, because that one was doing perfectly. And we never had Mirabel to come on up. But what I'm going to go ahead and say, that is a milestone. 25 years, that is a milestone. And you don't stay on that long if you're not doing something good. Because usually that is the test of how well a institution is doing. If it isn't doing well, it dies off. If it is doing well, then it stays on this long. So 25 years is pretty much a milestone. And I do not know if we have her yet. What I'm going to do for it, so just a tiny second, is pause and say, okay, are you back now? Can you hear us?
I'm back.
Okay. So what we're doing is asking about what the plans are. Are you doing any plans to celebrate the 25 years?
Yes.
The milestone.
Yeah. Yes. We've started. We got a media group that will handle our all the media coverage, billboards, digital banners. We've contacted somebody who will do that. And we first of all went now to get our alumni ready. So the corporation office and the students affairs, they created a WhatsApp. Within days, not up to a week, it was 1,000 something. So they saw that the WhatsApp group cannot carry. So they have now created another one that is called is it the paragraph? I don't know, something which can carry so many. How do you call it?
Telegram. The Telegram.
Okay.
Telegram. Yes, Telegram. So because we have so many, I mean, we will be talking from the time for 25 years now, we must have graduated more than 10,000.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
Yes. So we are thinking that the number that will show up, I don't think it will be less than 1,000. I'm just saying, maybe more than that, because it will be much past. Yes. And the way our vision is, we are looking at big, because what we are saying, what we are telling the world is that we started off with 6 training of nurses, 6 nurses. Today we have so many, and we are still top of the game. We are still doing where we have been to. You know, it is very easy to go up, but to maintain is not easy. But we have
right.
Yes.
To keep the standards, to keep up the tradition of excellence. Yes.
Yes.
To maintain a reputation is not easy.
Yes, exactly. So that is why we are looking. We do not want 25 years to just go sail to without us making noise, without us making people know. Even nationally, you have some people who don't even know about us. So we are now going out nationally, you know, not just locally as we used to do our campaigns.
Right.
And well, and then that day too, we want to also try to recognize some people who were with us as far as that time up till today. Yes,
that's a
who
good
helped those. Yes. So in a nutshell,
founders and the pillars,
in a nutshell, we just want people to know. That's all.
That's the important thing, and that's what this is about. So people get to know. Because I said BUIB, they're like, no, you mean UB? I'm like, no, it's two different institutions. UB is UB, it's BUIB, and trying to explain to people that actually is that institution separate from what the government is. Yes, or the Catholic University.
And that again, let me tell you something. We want to actually officially open up our simulation center, because other institutions can come and use them. Because when you train a nurse, you are not training a nurse only for yourself. Other institutions train not only for yourself, because another institution's nurse can be at your service tomorrow, and if it's not well trained, then you know it will not be, you know, good. And yes, I mean, it becomes dangerous. So why all of them should be trained well. Yes.
Correct. Because that I'm glad you're doing that, offering that opportunity so people can, because as you're saying, there's not like a health department where you cannot afford to be, how would I call it, selfish or cut corners, because that is a matter of life and death. If I'm a bad teacher, the worst thing that will happen is my students will fail. You know, they actually fail an actual exam, then somebody can fix it somewhere down the road. But you don't want to have health practitioners who are not well trained.
Now I can't hear you.
Oh dear. Yeah, you're breaking in and
yes.
You can hear us again.
Yes.
So I was saying that's very important. Very important. Yes. Of all professions in the world, I'm thinking the ones that have to do with health are the ones that you cannot afford to cut corners and not do a good job. If you hear about people taking the exams seriously or cheating on exams, please pray that it is not a nurse, not a doctor that is doing that in an exam, because you really need them to know what they're doing, because that is very, very directly tied to human beings and their well-being. So I'm glad you're doing that so they can have. So this simulation center, I've heard people, you mentioned it more than once. So what exactly is it? What exactly is that? Can you give a little bit more?
Maybe this FRANCISCA is not the best.
Yes, okay. Let me go ahead and ask Madame TARH to help us with that. What exactly is in that facility?
Okay, thank you once more for the opportunity. Simulation center, this is a practical skill room.
Okay.
Where you have sophisticated equipment, where students go there, the student goes there to learn hands-on practical skill. Yes.
Like what, for example, what are they, what actual things, for example, concretely, doing there?
Okay. You have all the forceps, let me put it that way, all the forceps, that is equipment that they use. Like, for example, a patient has a wound and they need to treat that wound. You have all the necessary forceps which are there. Then, for example, you want to measure the pressure of a patient. We have simulated, when you talk about stimulated patients, that is where the name comes from, simulation. You have these patients who are like people, but they are not. These are designed mannequins.
That's what I saw there then.
Yes.
Keep talking, because I think I remember seeing a plastic. Let me find that picture again. This one right here, if you'd let me share.
They call them the mannequins where students now use them.
Would that be what you're looking at here, right there?
That is yes. That is a staff who was on a training, first aid, and was trying. That is a patient who has difficulties in breathing, and so he's trying to carry out a procedure to assist that patient to regain their breathing pattern. So this exercise is being done for lecturers, and the lecturers now can carry it out now on their students when they're teaching that course to their students. So have that in service training amongst us. So when you go to this teaching lab, which you call a simulation, you have patients who now take the real patients, because there are two forms. You have real patients who now comes there and act as if they are sick, yet they are not sick. So that students, will be able to work on these
standardized patients.
Yes,
right.
Correct. They standardized patients so that they will be able to carry out these skills to the hospital, because they have been able to see a person who is acting as a patient.
Correct.
To them. So we have these mannequins which are there, like presenting themselves as patients, and then we have these standardized patients. So you have all the equipment. You have beds where you do admission.
I just saw the beds. There's also this right here.
Yes. Good.
And I also saw, yes.
Yes. You have, that is the skeleton, train a student, the skeleton. You have the different beds, because we have different beds. The amputated bed, you have the fractured bed, then you have the obstetric and gynecological bed. So you have all those different beds, so that when the students see it there, when they go to the hospital, they are able to identify the bed. They don't need to start imagining or having an imaginary thoughts on what this thing is all about. So it's a well-equipped practical room with all the necessary things that are found in
an actual doctor's office.
Cool. Yes.
So that when they actually go out to work in an actual hospital, they are familiar with that. They're not seeing it for the first time and struggling to figure out how things work.
Exactly.
This has been a very enriching and enlightening conversation that we've had here. And I'm glad you took the time to come on and do this with us. I'm very, very thankful and grateful. So does the Vice Chancellor have a last word, a closing word to share, or are we good?
We are good, but I just want to say the 25th anniversary is something that we want the world to know, that the St. Francis schools, which ended up only in nursing and midwifery, is no longer that. We are now Biaka University Institute of Buea, and we have all these specialized schools that the Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of academics and research has outlined to you. We want the world to know that we are doing all this like a full-fledged university. We should not be as if it's just a specialized university for health sciences. So we're asking people who are around, or even those who are abroad, if you happen to be here in November, please join us to celebrate. And Madam Monjimbo, you are invited.
Oh, fantastic. I'm very, very honored right here. And this is, I'm trying to close this with one of the pictures that I took when I was there. I went to the campus.
Yes.
This is you walking right up there towards us right here. And I took that picture. And it's saying right there, it's saying HND, BSc, MBA, MSc, what it offers right there. It's also saying management sciences right there, health sciences, education. And then it says they're coming soon, engineering and IT and agriculture. And as
we have that now.
You have that now. Because this was 2 years ago, end of the year in 2021. That this was
there's a massive building in front of where that car is.
Right here. Okay, I can see that it was in the making because I see sand right here. So there's sand right here, which has now, so that has now become a big building. Awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
That is a lot of progress there. This is really great from Central. I'm very impressed. And I was even going to ask about these colors. I see some people have this green graduation robe.
Yes.
I see others with the red burgundy robes. And then I see others here with the blue. And I was wondering what the difference really is. Can somebody explain?
Yes, you have HND.
Okay.
With the you have the degree holders, their own, I think color is not there. You have the master, these ones are the masters.
Okay, actually, I'm able to actually read on this one. It says Masters in Pediatric Nursing, Biaka University Buea. That is awesome. Very nicely customized. This is good. I love to see that. Then I see these also here with just the stones around their necks. I'm not sure who these are.
No, That's the their badges, which are these gowns are our gowns. So that's our logo.
I see. I see.
Then this one,
school delegates.
Okay, these are the school delegates.
Yeah.
Okay.
School
I like the
delegates.
way things are done there. Very, very proper. And this is really impressive. And this is a picture I took of you in your office the day I got there. That is a picture of you in your office. And since we're throwing laurels and everything, I remember this because I remember reporting it. Definitely. Let me click on this one. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yes. This made us really proud. We as Cigarettes really proud.
Yes.
This is the UK, right?
Yeah.
Yes. When I had the honoris causa from the University of Essex in the UK.
The UK. Congratulations for a job well done.
Thank you. I
know that when talk about somebody wanting to carry out a legacy. This is how it's done. This is how it's done. So yes, this was actually the obituary that you put out there. When I keep saying, people say rest in peace when their loved one passes away. But if so they don't act in a way that that person can actually rest in peace as you would love to have it. If everything is back in shambles, nothing is going right, the vision that they had is not being followed, everything closes down, dilapidated in shambles, that is not how you can expect somebody to rest in peace and be happy. So this is the way it's done. Congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm calling you Sister Franca for now and say congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you.
This is new one's boss, and I'm smiling here because I still remember my second days. I got it in Form 1, in Form 3. When they say country dance, 11th February time, country dance time, we will sing those Basat songs. She'll lead us in the dance things. He's. Wakoni, he's. We are there dancing away.
I know.
Yes. So it's amazing to see what you have turned out to be, and this whole conglomerate, this whole empire you have that you've been running 25 years. That is awesome.
I have a good team. That's the secret. I have a good team. It's my team.
I can see it, I can tell. Just the Miss Mirabel who was trying to put this little group together so we can do this. She was right on it. She's like, gentle reminder, tomorrow at so time we have this. Please. And she was contacting me in the background too. I was like, whoa, this is really some efficiency happening here. There was no way I could have forgotten. Because the moment she said that, I'm like, okay, let me go find my cell phone. I set my alarm to wake up. Because I said, if I don't do it, this Miss Mirabel can come here actually. And she's doing it also sweetly and nicely. Ma'am, but she's like, get it done. I'm really sad that she was able to come on here to be part of this because of difficulties and things. The mountain race is going on there in Buea and everything. But please thank her for me. And then I want to thank you. We've lost Prof. I think the connection is gone. But I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to come and do this, to talk about an institution that is a pride for our country. We can say with pride, I can actually go and share that URL link to your website and say, go take a look at what we have in Cameroon. Because I'm proud of what is there. There's no embarrassment that you're going to be discouraged about what you see there. The whole idea of people going to hospitals with the rusty beds, that's part of the reason people don't want to go though. The bed is rusty. I remember when both my children were born in Cameroon, the midwife said, get all your things from the syringe to the, what you call plaster, the Band-Aid, to the gauze and cotton, but all those things I went with it with my bag to the place. Whereas I'm seeing here now in the facilities I've just seen, everything's there. You can go and rely on the fact that what they have there is top-notch and it's good, instead of going to the hospital and coming back home with a different set of ailments than the ones you went there with. So hats off to all of you. And when that time comes for the celebration in November, let us know. We'll gladly share all the banners and everything here and celebrate you. So
thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. All right, so
go ahead and let you go.
Bye.
Yes.
Okay.
Take care. God bless and good luck to the university.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.